Hey guys. I hope everyone's doing okay. Let's just make sure my win. Okay, that's good. All right. Who we got here then? Click Tech Kev, hi. Andy Magic Knight, Mr. G, Proud7, Fitter Entry, Tonys, Voss TR, Mr. G, Chromosome Drift, SP175, Mr. Jacob, Warlock. Welcome, guys. Music loud. Okay, hang on. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Microman and Eldritch, welcome, guys. So it's been 3 weeks since I did any Game Boy stuff. So is it 3 weeks? Yeah, it is 3 weeks. So we did the Pi Zero Spectrum last week, and I had a week off as well. So yeah, it's been 3 weeks. So um, okay, cool. So anyway, the Pi Zero Spectrum is ready to go this weekend. So I'll be giving that away in the giveaway. So make sure you save your points for that. Um, usual price 2,500 per ticket, up to 3 tickets. The winner will be drawn at random midnight GMT. So that's about 2.5 hours after the stream begins, and the winner will have a Spectrum Pi Zero as displayed at the back there. Just about see it behind me. Cool. Okay, so what I wanted to do tonight was just make sure that we've got. I think all the enemies are working now. I did actually get some stuff done on the editor, so I added in these items now, which allows me to load in. Oh, of course that doesn't work now. Damn it! Got to load that one in. Damn it! I've got to load one with the enemy data with the item data in it, or else it doesn't work. Oops. Yeah, here we go. So I just added the ability to add these items in. There's no dialogue items added in or anything yet, but you can add these. You can add enemies in, and you can add keys and stuff. So what I want to do tonight is get the key system working. So the ability to be able to pick up a key, have it added to our collection. To not pick it up if you've already got a key of that color. So if we've got 2 red keys, you shouldn't be able to pick one of them up. What else? Oh, and the extra life as well, the extra life system. So a way to add these in. Then with that in place, really all that's left to do is add music and sound effects, because we have nothing in terms of sound at the moment. I think I'm going to go for Devil Mask, just because I don't really fancy writing my own sound routine for use in one game. And we've still got quite a lot of frame code time that we can use. So I'm going to use that for the music stuff, because that can be edited anywhere on the screen. I'm not overly bothered, but game's not started. Ah, yes, of course. Let me get those started. There you go. You're not overly bothered, but some people like this. So there we go. And I didn't see steps, and I didn't see haze. So you've got a quick chance to get some points. So now's your best chance to catch up. Oh, this is one where the masking has screwed it up a little bit, but oh, nice. There you go. Yeah, the masking occasionally messes up the colors. I think they're supposed to be purple, those things. Uh, Not an awful lot I can do about that. I could maybe put something purple behind behind the quiz so that it shows up correctly if it does that. I'll have to have a look at that. That's something I need to do. Um, so yeah, so once the music player is in, all that's really left after the music player is building the levels, um, which includes adding the dialogue screens, building some kind of completion screen, and building a title screen. The title screen at the moment that we've got is a very temporary thing. It needs to flow into the game. So one of the things that's I deem to be quite important is that the game should move from the title screen into the game without any blank screens. It should be a smooth transition to this screen here, which is why this bit's here basically. So what should happen in theory, if you imagine another screen above here with stars on it, the title screen would be next to it like this. Then the title screen would clear. It would scroll over to the screen above this with stars in it, with a ship in the middle of it, and then slowly the ship would move down, and this would all scroll up until the ship lands here, and then the game actually begins. So that's going to be an interesting little bit because I've not done any of the scrolling stuff yet, so it should be fun to do. But it should be easy enough anyway, I think. It's probably not that much scrolling actually, because left and right is probably not that much scrolling. It's probably more to do with the up and down that's going to be the problem. But okay, let's have a look. So I want to add keys in. Whoops, and I don't have anything at the moment to add to deal with the keys. So let me just show you that this exploit's working now. So if I put that guy there and put a drop there as well. At least I hope this works. It should do. So it updates this file automatically, so it automatically generates these files here and creates these pieces of information here. Just make that bigger. Oh, that's just probably a bit too big. Oops. You can see there it's created both of the enemies in the right places, which is cool. So the next step is to do the same for keys. The keys probably don't do anything at the moment. And basically we need to add them in the same way we add the enemies here. They're still enemies, technically. They're treated as enemies by the enemy system. It's just when it comes to collision, they won't be treated as enemies in the same way. But in terms of kind of their initialization and their update, they should kind of be put into these tables in the same way. Just looking at this. Yeah, I just need to make sure this is filled out the right amount so that it works properly. So actually, let me do that now. If I just want to make sure that things work, so I want to make sure that the bat and the acid and the triangle work correctly if I jumble these up. So if I was to switch these around, and if I was to add, would it be another 8 of these? So so. And the reason I'm doing this is so that the values fall on correct boundaries here. I just want to see if this still works correctly. If it doesn't, I need to address that. But it looks like it does anyway. So that means it should be an easy task now to add in some extra details. I just wonder actually, let's find out where that's called. Okay, it's just added to the base here. So actually, it probably doesn't even need to be it's aligned here anyway, so let's see what we would need. 5, 3, 4. That would be enough. This freaking tune. See if that works. Make a good it'd be good to keep these as kind of wasteful, as least wasteful as possible. Hey Casper Poland, welcome to the stream. Finally here after watching all these series. Cool. Caught up and then took the plunge here. But yeah, you've been a regular now, Fitron, for a while, so good. It's always good to come along, even if you're not caught up. It's worth just kind of dipping in anyway, just to kind of see what we're up to, really. And hopefully you guys find it fun as well as informative. Oop. Thanks, Andy. I feel like I already know you. That's cool. All right, where's my inhaler? Oh, I got my Xbox today. Look how small this thing is. Look at that. It's tiny. And for comparison, oops, it's so small. Yes. It's the online early one, yeah. But the thing is I just wanted something so that I had something to play Xbox exclusives on. Now, I don't expect there will be many at all because I think mostly there will be um, available on Windows as well. But there will occasionally be, as there always has been, games that make it to the Xbox that don't quite make it to Windows or are late to come to Windows. So I just wanted a machine that I could play these games on that supported 120 frames per second still. I mean, it is essentially just the Series X. It's just it doesn't support 4K. I think it's 1440p. So, um, and the thing is, the size of it intrigued me because it's big enough, it's small enough that I can put it inside my computer as well. So I've designed a 3D printed um, stand for it. So I'm going to build a small stand that I put the Xbox on that has cooling fans underneath it. So I can put it in the base of my case and it will keep it cool. So yeah, looking forward to it. Okay, right. Let's get this going then. So basically, what we need to do is we need to create something for the keys as well. So what I'm going to do is first of all I'm just going to get rid of these, and I'm just going to drop. It's not it, is it? Drop the keys in. So let's drop a red key in there. Let's drop a green key in there. Actually, let's drop another red key in there as well, and drop blue key on the blue key on the edge as well. Thanks for the resub, my beagle. Very much appreciated. No wine tonight, I'm afraid. I've been busy at work, so I'm not going to be drinking through the week at the moment. It feels weird actually. I've not had any alcohol for over a week now. So, oh no, I tell a lie. I had some ciders on the Thursday stream last week. So, okay, I've not had a bottle of wine for over a week. It's really not good, is it? Okay, let me save the project so far. I was proud of myself for not drinking for a week, and it turns out it's not even been a week. It's been 5 days. It's because I woke up on Sunday without a hangover. That's unusual. Okay, right. So let's export that. So what I'm expecting to see here is probably a crash or something along those lines as it tries to jump into these locations here. that don't exist. The colors will all be wrong as well. Everything's just going to be a little bit up in the air here. Actually means we don't need this either because yeah, we shouldn't need that because it's not. It doesn't have to be on boundaries for these things as long as this doesn't extend past the boundary, then we should be fine. Well, we'll find out anyway in a minute if this is working. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So this is what it's doing. It's drawing the wrong thing here now. Okay, interesting. Um, and that's because it's this key here. So if I was to just change that for a dart, like so, and put a dart update in here. Did we just have the one key on that screen, or did we have two? Okay, we had two, red, green, and blue as well. So we'll just do it here as well. Let's just make them all darts, like so. Well, it's been a while since I heard an Airwolf on stream, actually. Yeah, there you go. It's not drawing this one down here. I don't know why that is. Need to look into why that might be the case. Let me just change that to a 7. So this is the key bit here that we're messing with. At least I think it's that one. Oh, let's just try it out. I think it is that one. Okay, so there is an issue with the blue key. So let's work that out first. So these technically should be keys, but it's just not reading them as keys yet. Now that could be down to the alignment here. If I up the alignment, oops, oh God, get rid of that. Why is it? Oh, there we go. So I'm aligning to 6 bits instead of 5. It could just be because of the size of these that they overflowed. So let's try that and put another key back in. This one here. Okay, so it's not working there. So we need to address that. It's working for those. It's just not working for the other ones. Okay, that's fine. I've been watching all the old YouTube VODs. Have said, oh yeah. The thing is the music has been removed now. So for the past couple of weeks, probably at least 2 months, the last 2 months or so, I haven't been putting the music in the videos because of all the copyright claims that were on them. Kind of ridiculous, really, but so I do apologize. When you get to that point, you'll have to have another window open with music. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So if I put 8 in, it fails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 8. Let's say it should be doing something, but it's not. So let's see if we can figure out why that is first, and then we'll come back and change these for key details. So first of all, let's add some palettes in for these things. So we've got red, green, and blue. Let's go and have a look at the palettes. Actually, we can look in here, can't we? So we have got red, we've got green, blue. So this is these are all -1 on here. So this would be 6, 2, 7. I think that's right. Let's try that out because I'm not sure about that one there. The acid would imply that that's green. I think I need to, oh, this is different. That's not Sprite. Okay. We need to look at Sprite palettes. Fine, we can have a look in here. Not that one. There we go. VRAM viewer. So it's in my mind a bit then. Okay. Red, green, and blue. Okay, so we've got red here. So palette 4. Though that looks kind of orange to me, but maybe this last one here, we don't have a palette here, so okay, so we need to add that one in. So we'll add this last palette in, otherwise we can use RGB. So 6 2, so 762. Okay, 762, and the extra life will be red, so that should be 7 as well. Oops, wrong one. Okay, so let's try that. Let's make sure we get those things in the right colors. A labracadabrador. Oh dear me. Okay, yes. So we've got this weird coloured one here, which is our red, which is the oh, hang on. No, that's wrong, isn't it? What have I got wrong here? Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, this one here. So that's right. Have I got these colours the wrong way? Look, that's showing green. I think that should be blue according to the map. It should be blue. I've got my palettes the wrong way around. Blue should be blue. Maybe this. Oh, have I got that? Oh, yeah, I put the right color in there. Okay, that's right. That's fine then. Everything's fine there. So let's just add that that color in at the end. So this color should be. Can I change that in here? I don't think I can. Can I? Okay. Have I been setting these colors then? So initialize. Okay, so here's our colors. So basically, we just need to change this one here, which is our red color. I think we can do this through here. I can't remember how I was setting the colors now. Oh, here. Oh, God damn it. It's really obvious. Okay, so red. Like so. So 0016. Okay. There we go. That'll do. It probably needs to be a little bit darker than that, actually, more like this one down here. Actually, let me grab that from. Yeah, I think it should probably match that, shouldn't it? Actually, no, I don't. I don't mind that. I can think about that later. I think it's probably fine. uh, Steps his back in and on the ball. Okay, cool. So we're probably going to die the same with these. Yes. Okay, so that's something we need to do to make sure we can pick these up. Also, it has appeared. The blue one has appeared, so it must have been just to do with the color. The palettes probably picking up incorrectly for some reason. I guess because it was adding a number that was actually turning the sprite off at some point. because the enemy attributes could have been pointing it to a different bank or something like that. So by setting this properly, we've actually fixed the issue. So let's just try with 9 as well. So 9 should be a heart, so this should be red as well. So we should see 2 red things here. Yeah, red here, although it's not displaying correctly, and that's because the heart doesn't have a proper thing here. Okay. Cool. All right, cool. So we've got colored keys able to be placed, but we don't have actual proper code for them yet. So let's do that bit next. Let's get that in. So what we need to do, we need to write initialization routines for them all, which we may be able to just get away with this enemy basic. Don't think we need a special routine for that. Okay, that's fine. The reason they drop there is because the enemy basic isn't setting up the behaviors properly here. But it's because we don't have a proper a key behavior yet here. So actually, what we probably should do is this. So what I'm going to do is have initialize key red, green, and blue. This is basically going to set the properties, one of the properties, to say which color the thing is. If we go into initialize enemy, here we go, initialize enemy basic. So I'm just going to put a file called keys in here. I'm going to put it in the enemy section because it's still treated like an enemy. So, and this is going to be red, and then there will be green, and there will be blue, and this will be other data here. So we just need to set the values for these keys up, which I will check in a minute. So they're going to match the value in the HUD. Oops. Add these in here. Then I need to go and grab the header from here because I can never remember how to do this header. Well, it's quite warm in here. It needs to set the cooling on a bit loud. Cool. Full Z80. No rage expected from Shalom. Oh, what are you actually coding on? Oh, okay. Some crazy Z80 machines. These are 210. Okay, that's a weird one. I've not heard of that one before. Oh, I just hate Z80. I think I don't think I could code Z80 again, to be honest. Even if I had the full Z80 kit. I mean, it's probably a little bit easier on other things, and I kind of do want to have a go at Amstrad at some point, but I'm not in a huge hurry to do that at all. Okay, so what I want to do is based on the HUD values. So we should have. Let me just close stuff that I don't need over here. I'm gonna close the screen. Oh, I should have left screen imports actually. Should close that one. Keep that one open. I think it's RAM I need, isn't it? Yeah, here we go. So these key values here. So I think I just need to do this. So the basically what used to be direction will now be the key color. and everything else will stay blank. And so we're just utilizing that behavior. So Game Boy Z80 is traumatizing for life. Yeah, it has. It really has. I am kind of intrigued in doing Amstrad, and the reason why I want to do Amstrad is because I want to do something that's um just drawing to a frame buffer, kind of like the Spectrum, but I want the colors. And Spectrum, I'm sorry, but the 1-bit stuff on the Spectrum I just find horrible and disgusting, and I can't bring myself to do that. Um, so I'd like to do something that's along those lines with some limitations, but not so limited that you end up with Spectrum graphics. Um, but ST, yeah, I'm not that desperate for frame buffer stuff. What about next project for one of Atari 8-bit same 650? I think the next 6502 projects I do on classic machines is going to be NES. Um, because it's 6502. It's got really nice hardware scrolling and sprite spot. The Atari machines, I like the Atari machines, but they're lacking in a few areas that um for me, like the hardware scrolling, I don't think it does very well, or if at all, on the Atari 8-bit machines. Certainly don't remember any games that scroll particularly well on the Atari. I might be wrong though. Maybe it does. I haven't looked into it that much, but and it's kind of the same on the Amstrad. The Amstrad is lacking in so many areas, but it's it's decent enough that for a frame buffer stuff, it should be okay. But 6502 will be NES next, I think. Although that's probably going to be something I do off stream. The next on stream kind of 6502 family stuff is going to be Mega 65, which hopefully, according to Paul Gardner, they're going to be shipping this week or towards the end of the week, I think so. Uh, and yeah, if you haven't already joined the Discord, let me just drop a link in the thing. If you haven't already joined the Discord, come and join in on there, and feel free to ask a million questions to everybody. Um, Everybody's really helpful and really happy to help out, which is nice. Okay, so here we're just setting up the color, and we're setting up the properties, and then we can just do a key update here. Now the key update really doesn't need to do anything other than set the sprite. So for now, let me just return. Whoops, let me return. Yeah, I do need that snapshots open there because I need to see. Sorry, screen imports. There we go. Yeah, so we just need to set the sprite frame at this point. So I just need to find it in here and set that, and that needs to be based on the value that it gets from here. Otherwise, this will be let's call it a key update here. Yeah, no wine tonight. Sorry, I haven't changed it. Oh, it's making me want wine though. Looking at that, damn. Okay, so let's put those keys back to red and blue, and then key update. Okay, so final bit to get these keys in, and then once we've got the keys in, we need to deal with the collision, because at the moment it's just going to collide, and you're going to lose a life when you hit them. It's just going to treat them like any other enemy. We need to change that. Um, okay, so we need to set the sprite. So let me find where that is being done. Let's reset it. Drop splash. Oh, is that done as part of the frame? one of these, the frame timer. Get enemy property 7. Okay, let's just try setting that value. So that's going to get our property for that value, and then we're going to set it to be a particular frame, and that frame I need to grab from here. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 90. Okay, so let's try setting it to 90 and see if I'm trying to remember to see because it's been a few weeks since I did this. I've completely forgot how this works now. Let's give that a try. Hopefully we should see a key, even if they're both the same. I'm not sure what that is. It's not a key though, is it? But it has changed. What is that? Oh, that's the bottom of this guy here. Hang on, 0. Getting the sprite numbers correct is difficult. 20, 40, 60, 80. That seems like it's the bottom of one of these. I'm not sure which one. I think it's that one. Oh, it's because it should be 88, that's why. Hey Sean, how's it going? Yeah, there we go. So keys. So we've got the keys, they're the right color now. The right color because the palettes have been told. So basically this value just needs to change now depending on which key it is. So it needs to be 88. Let's just put in here 88, 8A or 8C, depending on the color that it needs to be. How's the have you done any more tests on the computer? I know you told me your temperatures before, Sean, but I don't know if you've done any actual work with it. So Sean's very bravely fitted the water cooled 2080 in his machine. First time he's done water cooling without my direct assistance. So he's now running on his nice upgraded system, but he had some issues with the CPU block was gunked up, so he had to take it apart. So he's actually done quite a tricky tricky thing for his first kind of water cooling, first solo water cooling expedition. Yeah, it is my son. Yeah, Retro Lemons is my son. Yeah. So yeah, he took apart the CPU block on his own, and cleaned it out and put it back together again and put it all back into the machine again. So pretty proud of him actually. It was a very proud moment. So yeah, he did really well with that. Chuffed with you, bud. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this key update red, uh, key update green, key update blue, and I'm gonna do the same thing that I've done up here with this. So I'm gonna have key update like this. And the reason for this is because it's probably easier just for us to jump to the right place rather than actually have a conditional in here at all. And there's really no need for us to overcomplicate things at all. So I think that should be fine. That should give us blue. So the blue key should look like this with a little triangle on it. Just need to go and set that in here. So red, green, blue. I did pretty well not to not ruin it. You did really well. So yeah, I mean, it was a long time before I took a CPU block apart. because I was scared of them. Like I say, though, I did say to you, and I do definitely recommend this. Don't ever take a GPU block apart. I don't know if I've got one. Not actually. Oops. Actually, I do have one. Hang on. In fact, I have one which I can't put together. So, oh no, this is not a GPU block, but it shows the problem. So I've got. Oops. I've got this, which is part of a cooling block that I've got here, and it's supposed to go. It's supposed to go in the back here like that. But I cannot get this little rubber seal to fit in the grooves on that because it's just impossible to keep it in place and get that screwed on the top. So um, it needs a machine to do it, and I don't have a machine to do it. So just never ever do that. So welcome on the dad. Yeah, he does all right out of me. He gets all my old parts. Uh, hot glue. Oh my god, yeah. Hot glue. Oh god. Um, I mean, thankfully, I don't need pipes. Just it was a block that I wanted to clean out. Um, and then as soon as I took it apart, I thought, shit, I'm never going to get this back together again. And sure enough, I've not been able to do it to this day. So that's fine. It's fine. It happens. It's really, really warm in here. I'm going to take a break in a minute and open my back door up a little bit, because I'm really burning up in here. That's Linus. Oh no, 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 no. Okay, let's give this a try. Let me close all these windows. Okay. Cool. So we've got a red key, we've got a blue key. Now they're going to act like enemies and they're going to kill us, which is fine. But we do have keys of the right colours, and hopefully if we go here, we should have a green one and a red one. Yep. And that matches what we're seeing in the map here. So you can see they're in the right place, and they are the right colours. I do think the red looks a bit bright. I might have to tone that red down a little bit, actually. Um, Fortunately, it's really hard to tone it down from in here, so I need to go and find that red value in here. We do have palettes here for these, so that's the sprite palettes. There should be character palettes somewhere. Oh, we're loading them into from a file, aren't we? For some reason, I'm loading some things in from a file and not other things. That's fine. Uh, okay, that's not helpful. Okay, it's not a problem. I will edit this color in here. I think it's probably the easiest way to do it. So we've got the palettes in here already, 1471. So I should be able to do the same thing in here. So that is 1135. So do 1135. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so 1471. So let's change that down here. There's a VS Code extension for HexView. Uh, yeah, I've tried a couple of those, but the thing is, I'd rather just open a hex editor up. I generally don't find them very useful. Um, but it's, I mean, I might add one. Let's just see, because um, I just want a view. I don't really want. Let's just go with that one. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not actually. This looks better than what I remember last time. Fair enough. Fair enough. Uh, this extension is enabled globally. Okay, right. So if I so look, do I need to set my? Okay, cool. Yeah, that would. I mean, that really didn't help me either. Anyway, because I don't see. Oh, it's there. I would never have found that. Okay, but cool. Yeah, thank you. I'm sure I tried to use these before, and they weren't as good as that. Uh, so one thing I do like about VS Code is it does evolve pretty quickly, which is nice. Okay, so we've got red, green, and blue. We don't have the hearts working yet, so um, let's treat the heart in the keys section as well. So I know it says keys, but we will add hearts in here as well because it's going to behave the same as everything else, really. So it's just that in terms of picking it up, it's going to be a bit different. So I'm just going to add this in to here, and it's just going to be a new value. I'm going to call it key heart. So it's not really a key as such, but it's going to be treated as a key for all of the purposes. It just means that it becomes easy for us to manage it rather than have two areas where we're dealing with two separate things. Use hex dump for VS Code. Yeah, I mean generally I use XVI for pretty much everything, just because I prefer to use a Windows application like this. But sometimes you just want to view something very quickly, don't you? So it's kind of handy to have that, I guess. Well, how many Amiga for about a couple of keys missing? I said plastic plunger post, the keys were snapped off. I think I can swap plastic posts for my spare. Yeah, you should be able to. I think so. I think you can switch. I think you can switch them over. Um, Also, you can 3D print those posts as well. So I don't know if you've got a 3D printer or you've got access to somebody with a 3D printer. I think there are definitely ones for Commodore posts. I think I've seen some for 16+4 posts as well. So I'm pretty sure if you look, you would um, find the blueprints for doing the Amiga ones as well. Um, and pretty much any fairly modern um, uh, FDM printer from like maybe the past 2 or 3 years should be able to do it pretty decent. It does need an element of strength, but uh, okay. So key update heart. Let's change that sprite. So that is this one here. So if this is 88, that's 68. It's 48, so that's 4A. This needs to be. Let's go and just turn off some of these. Let's get rid of that one. Don't need that. Okay, there we go. Let's try see if we get a heart in here now. Oh, that's because it's doing this. So I've been chatting a little bit with Jamie from Bitmapsoft, um, and I think I'm definitely going to go. Well, we're investigating, doing some investigation of costs and stuff. But if all goes well, I think we're probably going to go with Kickstarter for this game. So there will be the way it's going to work is that there's going to be 3 levels for this for this project. So there's going to be an early bird, which you guys are going to get the link before anybody else, and that's going to be give you a discounted version of it if you want. Well, there's going to be two. There's going to be early bird digital and an early bird physical as well. So the early bird digital will be a very very minimal cost. I mean, it will be something like $1 or $2, very very minimal cost. Literally just to give you guys who followed and been around since the beginning, a way of getting it for as cheap as possible. I don't want to give it away completely for free. I don't want to encourage crackers, which I'm guessing on the Game Boy it's not as much of a problem, but um, I don't want to give it away completely for free. Secondly, the physical version will be pretty much at cost for the early bird people. I think, give or take. I need to discuss the costing, but that's what I'm kind of thinking at the moment. And then it will get opened up to everybody. And once it's opened up to everybody, there will be a few. There may be a few. There will be a limit on the early bird stuff as well. So I need to kind of gauge interest from you guys of who might be buying what, so I can kind of limit it mostly to those on stream. But then there will be other perks as well. So we're looking at doing um, some additional things as well, like lenticular placemats and cups and things like that. So you've got some other stuff to go along with it as well. These feels are gullible to pay top dollar. Yeah, but it's for me. It's not really the Kickstarter is more about getting more people to see it. If I just release it through the normal channels, then it's likely it's just going to be you guys anyway that see it. There's by doing it through a Kickstarter, it's going to hopefully give a few more people visibility on it. It's not really about the money. I mean, if it makes a little bit of money, great, but I don't think it's gonna make much more much more money really. It's yeah, exactly. It's more about marketing than it is anything else. Rube Noddy, thank you for the follow and welcome to the stream. Think of the poor wine growers. When I was older, someone showed me a way of coding where you wrote what you needed in pseudocode and you had plans to replace pseudocode with standard assembler. That was a little more practical for me. Still not Jeff Minter. Well, thanks for the follow, guys. Davy Jones and Birdlover 420. Thank you. Yeah, I think really that in essence that is what high level languages are about, right? It's about writing something as closer to English as you can get, and understandable, and having it compiled into assembler. So I mean that's essentially what it's doing. So um, but yeah, there are certain languages that are very, very verbose as well. So that follow alert is brilliant. Yeah, thanks, Sean. Yeah, that's these guys. They snapped me doing some roar at some point. Um, that's actually me roaring as well. I think I went like rah or something, and somebody snapped it. I can't remember. I think it was Mad Beagle snapped it, and someone else slowed it down. So okay, cool. So we've got everything appearing now as per the map editor. Just confirm that by putting the heart in here as well somewhere. So I'm going to put the heart here. And I'll put a green key here. So we've got all the keys and a heart on this screen. And I'm going to put another red key there just so we can make sure that multiple red keys can appear. And let's just close that down and give this an export. And there we go. We've got everything we need there. Let's just check. Yeah, everything looks good there as well. Cool. Right. So next job is to sort the collision out. So at the moment, the collision is being handled. Check enemy to player collision here. Okay. So what we can do is we can either do a check in here to see if we need to call this, or we need to call check enemy to key collision. I think that's what we'll do actually, rather than do it in here. So we do have this this collision check here. Actually, no, we will use this. I was expecting Indiana Jones to start. Okay, okay. So I can get rid of that now. I don't need that. So, but I think we will jump into this function. So we will check this, but the result of what happens here. Um, so we have collided. Um, Now, do we know what we're actually checking against here? No, actually we don't. So let's have a look. So what happens? So we go through the enemy routine. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, we'll sort that out. So basically, we've already got a collision routine in place. It's just calling that for everything that's a sprite. We just need to change it so that it will, whenever it's a key or a heart, it does something slightly different instead of just like instead of just killing the player immediately, it will go to something else. So let's take 5 minutes, guys. Or well, a bit less than that, 3 or 4 minutes. I'm just gonna open my door and let some cool air in here because it's so warm. Um, and then I should be back shortly. So all right, I'll start the break and I'll be back in 2 or 3 minutes. Be right back. Right, I'm back. Oh, Chiz Raid. Welcome, Chiz. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Let me stop the break. I saw you were playing Luna tonight. How far did you get? Not Luna, Luma. God, I even get mixed up with my own games. 93. Wow. I think you might be the only person to complete it. This is going to be quite interesting. What is that game? Is that uh shit, what's it called? It looks like it looks like Swiv, but I don't think it is. But it's got that same kind of no, okay. Has that same kind of HUD from Swift, but it wasn't. Yeah, it did look like it, didn't it? Um, uh, Eldritch reached 110, then lost the passwords. Although he made 50% of the levels. Yeah, he made 50% of the real pain in the arse levels as well. Like the really tricky levels. I'm impressed actually with the longevity of that game. It is an insane amount of time you need to complete that game. Uh, I better watch this on YouTube. I can't focus on the code because of you. It's all right. I feel the same as well. So I'm always doing the same thing. Okay, right. Let's go through the update. So what we're doing. Where is it? This check here. We're calling enemy to player collision here. Um, at which point we go and check kind of. Oh, actually, I wonder. I wonder. We are doing an indirect call here. I wonder because what I want to know is if I'm in this position down here, is there any way for me to know at this point what I've collided with? So let's put a breakpoint in here and see what happens. So here's where we hit the breakpoint. Okay. So what I'm interested in is are these values available to me anywhere? So um, we have DE, which is our Hang on. So what if I collided with that? I've collided with the red key. See, no, I don't. I actually do not have any way of knowing do it because I need enemy type. Hang on. Let's have a look. So it is current enemy update. Oh, oh, we're already storing it in this location. Hang on. D14F. Let's go and have a look at D14F. Maybe we've already got this value somewhere. 02. Uh, that's not correct, is it? Because it's, or is that the index? That's the current index of the enemy on the screen. Okay. And here we're loading the contents of DE. So this is the enemy data. Uh, I'm not convinced that DE might be pointing to something. So DE is pointing to D158. Thanks for the host, Andy. Appreciate it, dude. So D158 is here. That's saying 06. 06 is red key. So let's have a look. I think that might actually be right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is indeed correct. So let's jump over here and see if it says 9. It does not. But D is actually on D150, which is this one, which is correct. Ah, okay. So D is actually, yes, look, see 9, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we can use this value that's in DE to do the comparison. Cool. That makes this super easy then. So basically, here we've collided. So what we're going to do, DE contains the item type number. If more than 6, it's a collectible. Wow. Well, actually, if it's more than 5, it's a collectible. 6 is actually a collectible as well. So what we can do here then, so we're fine to use the accumulator, so we can load the accumulator with the contents of DE, and then we can compare accumulator to 6. It needs to be 6 or more. This is just a bit easier to read when it's like that. There we go. And so what we'll do here is so that word's looking weird to me for some reason. I think that's right. Collectible collision. So we need to jump. I never get this right, so I'm going to go this way. If I remember right, it's the other way around to what I normally expect it to be. So if this has worked, it just means we're not going to collide with anything. Just give it a try. Just close all these down. What else is in the tool chain for this Game Boy? just BGB really. Is the only other thing. So I'm using extensions wise RGBDS Z80. Um, no, there you go. Yeah, RGBDS and BGB emulator. That's it. I forgot I had that command. uh, why is that not actually loading? Something's weird is going on here. Oh, it's closed. Okay. Oh, there we go. Enemies 393. Is that just see? No. Huh? Oh, it's C, isn't it? Not CC. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Casper. See, that's the other thing I don't like about Z80, right? So you've got jump with a condition here, but at the same time you've got so this is our condition, right? Whereas here you've got these instructions and these are registers, but there is a C register, so it's kind of a little bit confusing in that way. So, oh, spam bot, kill it, kill the spam bot. Oh God, I forgot how to do it. Thank you, Andy. Uh, yeah, so this is one of the things I don't like about Z80s. It's not as easy to read. 6502 is so much easier to read. Um, so I find this kind of a little bit messy. So okay, it was the wrong way around anyway, so it should have been that. Hang on, carries set. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, it is the other way around then. There we go, perfect. Oops, perfect. Okay, so now we can hit those. I just need to make sure we can hit enemies as well. So I'm just going to drop an enemy into one of these positions. Let's do that on here, just to make sure that the enemies are working as well. Yeah, there we go. Cool. All right, so enemies are working, keys are working. Keys are non-collidable, which is good. Whoops, I just did that. Right. So why do I say that this is the other way around? So what we're checking for is if the value is more than or equal to 6. So normally what we would do in 6502 is we would do compare to 06, and then we would do branch if carry set to wherever. Now this is saying if we compare with this value, the carry will be set if it's equal to or more than that value. In Z80, it's the other way around. So in Z80, we compare the value to 6. If it's more than or equal to this value, then the carry will be cleared, and the carry is set if it's less than. So it's back to front, and it's going to be because internally what's happening. Um, yeah, trying to use this right. It's still confusing to look at though. Internally, what's happening is the subtraction that is being used to create these comparisons is the other way around. So obviously, it's the flag conditions the way around as well. Yeah, exactly. It is in 6502 as well. It's just that the subtraction is the other way around. Um, so in this one, you're doing accumulator, blah blah blah. Yeah, you're doing accumulator -6 here, whereas in 6502 you would do 6 minus accumulator. So it's just the way around that it happens is a bit different in Z80, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay. I just have to remind myself every time I do it. 68 has an as branch of greater than branch of less than. Okay. BLT. Now I want a BLT. God damn it. I'm so easily swayed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, in 6502 it's the other way around. It's 6 minus the accumulator, so um the carry gets set if it's equal to or more, so I'll send you a discount code. That's a bit late for that though. All right, cool. Let's move on to the next section. So yeah, now you know why it's confusing to me. It's just the other way around. So I've just got to remember that if I'm doing something, well, it's two things that are confusing. Firstly, it's the other way around, but also that to me looks like carry is clear, but it's not. It's carry is set. That is carry is clear, and that's because in 6502 you've got BCC and BCS. Branch of carry clear, branch of carry set, which is also why I do that instead of that. So now you know. Now you know why these things happen. But it's fine. Just eat's never too late. And load don't set. Oh yeah, and load doesn't set flags, which is very annoying. Yeah, load not setting flags is one of my biggest gripes with the Z80. Just make it load. It's not difficult, man. Okay. Um. Oh, this is interesting. We're going to need some persistence here now because things. Oh shit! Yeah, we're going to need key persistence now. Oh damn! That's going to be. Okay. Didn't think of this at all, and now I've thought of it. It's like, damn. Okay. Uh, messing with the Z80 that has a personality disorder. Yes, indeed. Okay, right. So we need persistence between screens. So what that means we're going to need to do now is make sure that whenever we is it in RAM? Yeah. Whenever we go into a screen, we also need to make sure that we store uh, which items on that screen have been removed. Um, which means I need something similar to this. So I'm going to copy this down. Now I can't do it in here because it's all aligned to pages up here. Um, but I can do it here. I'm going to call it key persist. Now what this is going to do, each screen contains a list of items to be cleared on entry. First byte is an index for the next door. Okay, no. So what this needs to be, let's think about this. I didn't even consider this, and it's so obvious now I think about it. So what we need to do is when you pick up a key, we need to obviously remove that key from the screen, which is easy enough. We can clear that because when you're in a screen, you've got some local data in RAM, which is uh, somewhere in here. The yeah, this stuff basically. Oh, maximum enemies 8. I don't know why I've got 12 down, but okay, whatever. Just need to remember it's 8, not 12. So we'd need to remove it from this list, and that's easy enough. We just set the type to 0, so that would remove it. But at the same time, we need to then add that to the list for that particular screen. So the screen is going to have a list of indexes which is the index into this list of the item it needs to remove. Now this list is always going to update in the same way, and that is based on these values here. So if we look at a screen with some data in it, let's turn that off. Try to find one. There's one. There we go. So here we go. Here's the first screen. We've got 4 objects in here. So this would be index 0, 1, 2, 3. We're going to have to add 1 to these because we want the array to be 0 indexed as well. So if we look in here, so we need to add some information to this. This can be 8. So each screen contains a list of item indexes to be cleared on entry. All indexes are +1 so that the list can be 0 terminated. So what do I mean by that? That means if we add an item to this list, we need to get its index, we need to add 1 to it, and then we need to insert it into the next 0 in the list for that screen. There's a maximum of 8 items on a screen. So we divide this into 8 per screen. It says multiples of 10. Oh, okay, that's not important. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. They called it Z80 to get the Z80 programs involved. Yes, it's yeah, Z70. Yeah, 8080 is some Z80 stuff. Yeah, it is indeed. Okay, so first of all, let's remove it from the screen. We'll deal with the persistence in a minute, but for now, let's just get it removed from the screen. So in order to remove it from the screen, we need to set the value in here, which we already have. This tells us what the item is. And so if we just set that to 0, that should remove it from... Actually, this removes it from... it removes it from the update, but doesn't remove it from the screen. So in order to remove it from the screen... In fact, I'm going to move collectible collision into here, because I think this is probably the better place to put it. So, so first of all, we need to clear the type in RAM. Clear the... Yeah, so that's fine. Clear the type in RAM. So this is clearing that type value, which we used to figure out what we were collecting. We'll have to deal with this as well in a minute to work out. So before this, we need to work out, do we already have that key? If we do, then don't pick it up. But we'll deal with that in a minute. Let's just get it removed first, and then we can work out whether or not we should be removing it or not. Hey, Sailor One. Yeah, I am using RGBDS. Yeah. Okay, so that means we need to remove the sprite. So in order to do that, we can probably just set position. So I think if we get the X position and set it to 0, that should be enough. So if I do, that should give me I might need to do it on the Y as well, but let's just try it with that first, see what happens. Okay. Jump show. Oh, because I've now jumped to a completely different place. I need to change that to that. Oops. What did I do then? Okay. It's not what I wanted, but you can see we're grabbing it. It's just doing. It's not changing the X at all, is it? Okay. Bit of. Thought it was when I'm 64. Beatles. And one of my neighbours is smoking weed. It absolutely stinks. Set enemy type to 0. Yeah, but I should, which is fine. That's what I want. But what I want to also do is move it off screen. I thought this was going to move it off screen, but maybe it's not. Let me just go and look at the enemy setup. Okay, so this is what happens when you don't decode for a while. Direction 3. Oh yeah, type. Sorry, it's not. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, it's you're right. It's that one. It should be that. Okay. Oh no, that's. Hey, Dockster, welcome. Uh, I forgot what the enemy properties are. They're down here, aren't they? X, Y. Yeah, so it should be these two routers. I try it with that one. Check if it uses DE. I don't think it does, but no, it just uses A and HL. I deliberately tried not to use that because it is used everywhere like that. Maybe maybe I'm not setting the right value here. Let's just think about this. Okay, so this would be position wise. No, it should not be doing that at all. It should not be. Hang on, do I know? Ah, is it because I need a null thing in here? Maybe it's calling these, but well, actually, let me put a breakpoint here. Let's step through and see what's happening. It's probably the best way to do this. Okay, so we get to this point. I can never remember what the things is. Step over F3. Okay, so HL is D55A. And that is indeed the Y position here. So let's just continue. because it hasn't moved the sprite at all. It hasn't done. I think I know what's going on here. I think I know what's going on because this value. Oh, if I just nudged everything along now, okay. Okay, right. So I think what's happening is when it gets to that position, it's not clearing the sprite. It's just because this is set to 0. So if I move that up, so let me just move that to there. You see that's in the right place now, right? So if I change this to 0, it doesn't actually move the sprite. It just changes what's being displayed. It doesn't remove it. If I was to move things first, then it gets moved off screen. So actually, I probably don't want to set the type here. I just want to, when I want to remove it, is just set both of these to 0. So if I do that, actually I can just do that, can't I? Which means I don't need to clear the type and RAM. And the reason I don't need to clear it is because, well, once it's off screen, I can't do anything with it anyway. All that's happening is the updates are happening and collision is being called on it if I collide with it, but I'm never going to collide with it. So that's a bit of, is this going to go into Humper? Cool. There we go. Right. So now we're actually removing things. Question is, well, I know they're not going to, but they'll appear when I go back off screen. Okay, cool. And that's just because we're not persisting these items. So we've got them removing, but we've not got them staying off the screen. But the next thing I need to do is make sure that these keys update correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn all the keys off for the player at the moment because he starts with them all, which he should do. Keys, there we go. Oops. So there we go, we've got no keys at the moment. So if I grab these, I need the keys to appear at the bottom. So let's deal with that. Okay, so if we get to this position here, then I believe, let's just have a look at the property. Here we go. The accumulator will contain the value. So at this point, equals P or heart index. So first thing to do is, if it's a heart, then we definitely need to pick it up. So check, is it a heart? Always pick it up. Okay, so if it's a heart, we need to always pick it up. So in order to do that, we will compare accumulator to 6, 7, 8, 9. And if that's equal to 9, then we're going to jump to, let's just call it heart here. And then I'm going to return here so we don't pick anything else up. So we just want the heart to pick up here. And the heart pickup is basically going to increase the player lives by 1. So can we increment that directly? No, we can't, can we? Because it's stupid Z80. So okay, it's fine. Okay, let's give that a try. Now, one thing I do know about the original game is that when you get more than 4 lives, it doesn't actually show you any of those lives. So I'm going to just make sure I lose a life so I can check. And there we go, the life increments. And if I grab another one and then get myself killed, it should still show as 4. There we go. So what I might do is add a number in here as well somewhere when you've got more than 4 lives. But for now, this is fine. But there you go. So we can now pick up extra lives, which is good. So now we need to do same kind of stuff, but for keys. Okay. So that's what we do here. Okay, so we need to know which key it is. So let's put a breakpoint here. See if we can figure that out. There should be an easy way to get this value because we do store that value in the data. I just need to work out how to get to it easily. So, and Isengard is on again. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so if I grab this, we should get a breakpoint. Let's go to DE, which is going to give us our data. And that's pointing to here. So we would need to get the property, which is this one here. So it's 3. Okay, so that's fine. That's easy enough to do. So we would just go load load accumulator with 3. There we go. And now the accumulator should hopefully contain the value of the key. I need to stream. Do you have to take available ROM card space into account, or does it matter for the emulator? So that comes down to my build file. So it's kind of hard to tell from this, but basically this here is this thing creates a ROM from the compiled code, from the assembled code. And what this does here is it selects which cartridge type it is. So different cartridge types have different ROM layouts and stuff. So the one I'm using here, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it allows you to use multiple banks as well. I think I'm only using 3 banks, I think 0, 1, and 2. So not a lot at all. But yeah, you can set your the emulator up to do different ROM types as well. I think it will actually tell you in here. Hang on. I've seen it somewhere. I know I've. Maybe not. I thought I'd seen it in here. Is it in here? Typically has up to 5 banks, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I mean it kind of it varies from card to card. Some of them have quite a lot on them as well. But I don't think I'm going to need more than 3. I may extend, depending on how the Kickstarter goes. I may put a stretch goal in to increase the map size a little bit. So the original game on the C64 had about 50 screens, I think, or just short of 50 or just over 50. I can't remember the exact amount. Um, this version has currently in the code, the way the code is set out, it has room for about another 100 and a total of about 110 screens. Um, so if the Kickstarter goes well, I may extend the code a little bit and add a bit more in. So let me just nudge that up a little bit. Yeah, 21 weeks. So we do each stream is around about 3 hours. We just do it once a week. So that's 60 hours or so, 60, 61 hours, 63 hours, sorry. Um, so I do a lot of different code, different games. This just happens to be the one I work on a Tuesday, Game Boy. So it's going to be the only Game Boy game I do as well, I think. Um, Hopefully, accumulate contains one. Yes, okay. It's not going to to. Uh, so I'm just trying to test that it's picking the right keys all the time. But yeah, this is. I think this has gone quite quickly actually. I'm fairly impressed considering I've never done a Z80 or Game Boy before this. And the first stream was very much, well, the first couple of streams is very much about trying to figure things out. I think it's gone fairly well. Oops. I mean, if you think 63 hours is not that long, really. So if this was, say, I was doing this as my day job back in the day, not that you'd have these tools back in the day, but say this was my day job, this would have been a 2 week. Let me turn the music up slightly. There you go. Frosty the Snowman. It is built on top of Sharp, but it's a Sharp processor which is very much based on 8080 and Z80. It's kind of a weird hybrid of the two. Okay, that's good. So this one should be 4 if it's worked, which it is. And we already know the hardware. So cool. We've got the right values now. So the accumulator contains our key values, and those key values match these values. Where is it? Where are they gone here? So it matches these values here. So now we know which key we've got. But what we need to do is we need to compare that. Actually, we need to AND that value. Oops, I want to do that. I want to AND that value. So I want to AND the accumulator with the contents of player keys. And so what we're looking for here is we're hoping that this value will be 0. If this value is non-zero, then we've already got that key. So basically, what we'll do here is return non-zero. So this is going to return from this function. This means we don't do anything at this point because we already have that key. So I can test this if I go into player and I just enable the red key. So if I make the player start with the red key, I should be able to pick up everything except the red key. So I've been sitting writing a Game Boy Color emulator, so I'm a bit of the opposite of you. Yeah. Uh, yeah, you're definitely the opposite of me because I wouldn't I wouldn't bring myself to do that. I couldn't do that. It would just drive me mad. Why is that not working? Obviously I cannot do that. Okay, so uh, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna load. I'm gonna load B with the accumulator. I'm gonna load the accumulator with that, and I'm going to add accumulator with B. Yeah, see, I can't pick the red key up now because I already have the red key here. So that's cool. Definitely will take a certain level of patience and withstanding of frustration. Yeah, I think the hardest thing about doing a Game Boy emulator would probably be the PPU, the way that works. I think it's very unusual. At least coming from 6502 and Commodore 64, it seems unusual anyway. I'm sure those who know NES and stuff would find this perfectly normal. But so having that kind of having a very specific thing for H blank and as well as V blank um, is kind of a little bit strange. You need to be able to deal with both of those in different ways. Thanks for the follow, Orin. Appreciated. And then of course you've got like the DMA stuff as well, which will happen during H blank, but then stop and allow normal code to run during normal kind of screen time. I can imagine it'd be quite complicated. I've never actually wrote an emulator. Maybe should try that one day. Okay, we've already got that key. Okay, so then the next thing to do is to add it to the player keys. So uh, so in that case, I'm just going to load that value back in again. So I'm going to get the player keys. And this time I'm going to OR that value into it and then load. There we go. Right, so now we should be able to pick up a key. So what I'm hoping to see here now is that I can't pick the red key up, which I can't because I've already got the red key. See here. The whole sprite priority thing on the Game Boy is a little bit annoying as well. Not really a lot I can do about this, um, but that's fine. Good night, Quadrosaur. Thanks for joining. Game Boy emulator is all done now, apart from sound. Oh, you'll have to let me. Does it do Game Boy Color as well? I imagine. It'd be interesting to see how well things run on it. If it'll do my stuff. So hopefully now I can pick this green key up and the blue key up, and there we go. Cool. I don't have a green or blue door, but find one over here. There you go. The blue key gets used. Unfortunately, I can't get back up there. I don't think so. There you go. I can still pick up the key even though I'm in this mode, which is good. And there, I got a blue key again. Cool. Oh, jumped in at the wrong time. So the doors have got persistence, but the keys don't. So that's going to be the next thing to do because we have everything working now for picking up the keys and removing the keys. But what we also need to do here is add key, add object removal to persistence. Now, that means that when we start the game, we need to clear doors. In fact, let's just do a little test here. So if I put a door, let's just put a door here, just for testing. So I'm just going to do, whoops. I'm in item edit mode, that's why. Turn that off. So just for testing, I just want to put a blue door there. So the reason I'm doing this is I want to make sure that if I get a game over and I go back in, that door is reset again. So there you go. I've opened that door. I picked a blue key up again, and you can see the door is stays gone. So that's good. Okay, so now let's go and get myself killed. Oh, there was a little bit of a glitch there as I fell down. Need to keep my eye on that. So there we go. Game over. And then if we go back in, I'm hoping I see that door again. And I do. Okay. So the door persistence is being cleared. We need to make sure that the key persistence is also cleared to make sure that keys reappear again. So far, so good. We just need to add the key to the list now. Okay. So if we look at the way the doors work, okay, we've already got, yeah, here we go, init doors. Yeah, so it's this simple, really. We're just looping through and adding everything to here. That's really good. Okay, that's nice. Oh, actually, I just realized that should be -1. That should definitely be -1. So jumping down 0. Hang on. Actually, maybe not. I'm going to leave that alone for now. Okay, so right, what we need to do is we need to clear this array at the beginning. I'll do that last. For now, let's actually add some values to this. So in order to do that, we need to get the current screen number, which we should have. Just need to make sure. Yeah, so it's doing this here. So let's use that as a basis. Let's go through and have a look. So add object removal to persistence. So we start by getting the current screen. That's going to give us a value from 0 to 128. We then need to multiply this value by putting it into, I think I'm going to put it into HL. So we're going to use HL. So we're going to load L with the accumulator. There we go. So now HL contains a 16-bit representation of the screen number. Now we need to do some rotation or whatever. Now I can never remember how to do this, so I'm going to have a look. Yeah, so we're doing the same thing here. Oh, actually, we can just do that. Let's make it nice and simple. There we go. And we can do this add. Yes, of course. This was the quicker way of doing this. So we're going to do ×8. Okay, so that's multiplying that value by 8. And now we need to add the offset as well. So we can do this bit here. Cool. So I knew this would be useful. And now instead of getting this, we're getting this bit here. Keep assist. And there we go. So now what we have is we have HL. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? Oh, no, it should be fine actually, because this is just removed. Yeah, this is fine. I'll do it all in here. I must say I admire someone's style of programming code modular structure. Oh, believe me, it gets messier than this. So it does get very messy. So this is actually the Z80 stuff has actually turned out to be some of the neater code. So I think it's just because I'm so afraid of reading it that I'm determined to make it neat. But yeah, it does get messy. Yeah, it gets messy on a Saturday. Yeah, definitely. I personally get messy on a Saturday, so uh, for some reason my messages on my phone have not been updating automatically. DE, head HL, DE. Uh, mm, I'm trying to think. Do I need to keep the? How does the NES compare to the Game Boy Color? Fairly similar actually. It's just one is 6502. So I do want to do NES next. I think that's going to be the next thing for me. I'm just thinking, do I need the? I think you might be onto something there. No, I don't because it's been popped there. So yeah, that's fine. I can do that. In fact, didn't I try this last time? I'm sure I tried this last time and it wouldn't work. Maybe. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Okay, I'm just going to comment that out anyway. Why didn't I do that before then? I'm a bit worried why I didn't do that here now. Okay, not to worry. Uh, okay, yeah, let's go with that. If it doesn't work, then we'll find out why. I think it should be fine because it looks like I'm popping wherever it was. I popped the at the end, so I'm obviously getting it back. I'm storing it and getting it back. So okay, right. So now we have this. So now we need to find the next zero place in here. So um, let's just put loop here. Okay, now find next empty slot. And also, what value do we need to put in here? We need to put the index in here. So index is, hang on, this might be where I need to keep the round. No, no, I don't. I've already got the index in current enemy in, where was it? So that's what we need to, current enemy update +1 into list. Um, so find next empty slot. Okay, so I can always use BC in the same way. Yeah, I do tend to use BC quite a lot, but I think a lot of the time I struggle because certain things just don't work in Z80 that I would expect them to, so I end up doing stuff like this. I'm just going to try and compile this just to make sure that this does actually work. Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. Because one of the things I've found really annoying is having to do everything with the accumulator, but I realize that HL does allow you to do these things as well. So HL is like a 16-bit accumulator sort of. So yeah, 0 pages is basically another 256 registers. Yeah, indeed it is. I mean, you do have that on the Game Boy as well. So you have I forget what it's called now, a high RAM or something like that, and it's some values. Up in the last page. It's not the entire last page. It's just a section of the last page. But there are a set of instructions specifically for dealing with those. So you do. I think it's like FF40. So if you were to do like uh, if you were to do like that, this would actually be a slightly different opcode to just any if that was oops if that was like that, it would be a different opcode to that. because this is a slightly quicker way of doing it. I can't remember the exact memory location, but there is something like that. But I don't think it's quite as useful as zero pages. The zero page on the C64 on 6502 opens up a whole world of new, different kind of indirect addressing and stuff. Okay, so find next empty slot. So, okay, what we need to do now is we need to load the accumulator with the contents of HL. Not going to increment it though. Actually, should I increment it here? No. Okay. Right, we'll compare it against zero, so we can do that. I'm just going to put in here that it's doing that. This will set the same flags. If it is zero, then we go to found, which means we've actually found a blank spot. Otherwise, we can HL. There we go. So at this point, we've found a value, we've found a space. So now what we need to do is we need to load the accumulator with, is it current enemy update? Whoops. And store that at the location of HL. And there we go. That should, in theory, that should put it in our list. So we can check that. I think that's going to be right at the beginning. It is right at the beginning. We're going to have to work out where that is though as well. So I'm gonna put a breakpoint here just so I can check it's in the right place. HRAM is FF80. Okay. I knew there was a location. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully if I grab this, I should get a breakpoint. No, because I've already got that key, but this one should. Okay, so our breakpoint is currently here, which means HL is now pointing to our persistence. So I go to D060. Oh, we should fill this full of zeros. Okay, that's fine. That's to do with the initialization. But what we should see is this. Oh, actually, none of them are going to set. So this is gonna go into an infinite loop now. Well, it's not going to go into an infinite loop. It's going to loop until it finds a zero, which is going to be. Well, actually, it might go into an infinite loop. That hasn't. Okay. Let's see what's that actually done. Yeah, it's not set anything here. Oh yes, it will, because it will come down to here and then okay. Okay. So that's not good. We need to change that. I think it's set that one there. So first of all, we need to add one to this as well. So so I'm going to increase that and put it into here. Okay, and then the other thing I need to do is make sure that I initialize this. So I'm going to create a init key persist. And I'm just going to steal the code from the door initialization in here. Now I'm pretty sure. Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, that is fine. Okay. Okay, and then we just need to make sure that is called from wherever the init door is. Init doors. Here we go. So init keeps this. There we go. Right. Okay. So hopefully it should work a bit better this time. So no grab here. D060. So go there. Oops. Wrong place. There we go. We've got zeros in here. If I press F9, there we go. And it tells us that item index 4. It's actually the third one. So if we just check that, I don't know, why is that 4? It doesn't feel right for some reason. Let me just grab the other one. Okay. So I'm just going to put this value here now, but I want to check two locations here. DE. See, this is we've kind of used DE here. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what it puts in there. So it puts 5 in there. Okay, so we're going to have a look at the screen data. Okay, that doesn't seem like it should be 4 and 5. It should be less than that. Um, okay. Oh, I'm gonna take a quick break, guys. When I come back, we'll figure this out. I don't know why these values are offset like they are. I'm not sure what that's about. Um, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's a sprite number or something. So this might be wrong actually. I think it is actually looking at that, and it doesn't look like that's actually using. It looks like it's using a sprite number. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Um, I don't think Shallan does much. No, not much. All right, I'll be back in 5 minutes, guys. Let's put the quiz on, and I'll be back. All right, bye bye. Oop, there we go. I'm back. Press the wrong button there. You see, now it's starting to get cold. I can't bloody win, can I? Okay. So, what was I doing? Oh yeah, trying to work out these values here. So ideally, this would be 0, 1, 2, 3. Those would be our enemy locations here. However, that doesn't seem to be the case. So I need to work out exactly why that is. So before we actually go into doing this bit here, so before we do the add, I'm just going to put the breakpoint there. I just want to see what D is pointing to, and I want to see if the right values exist in that in those values. Okay, so D is pointing to D560. So let's go and have a look at that. D560. Okay, so here we can see the kind of the memory layout here. D550 is our enemy data. So this would be index 0. This would be 1. This would be 2. So if I step over these, D060, okay, that is 0. So that's going to jump to here. And A is 3 at this point. I'm not sure where it's getting that value from. That's the weird thing. D54F says 3 here. Okay, so let's have a look how that's happening. So this is going to be in the update enemies function. Space for ants. Should try on mobile, much more fun. Is it? Let me know if this text is too small. I can pump it up a level as well. I mean, obviously the smaller I can have it, the better, because it makes it easier. But if it is too small for you guys to read, let me know, and I can knock it up one level. Okay, so there is an enemy update here. Okay, here we go. So, okay, so this is current enemy update stores 1 in it. Okay, so the first enemy in enemy data, which is the data that we copied from here. So that is this data basically, but copied it to RAM, along with extra details. So this is the header for each of the enemies. These are the 3 bytes that stay, that are loaded in, and then the other 5 are set by the initialization routine. So we're pointing to the beginning of this data, and we have 1 in here. Then it does all of this. Enemy indirect call. Oh, enemy data pointer. Enemy data pointer. What's that one? Dude, where is the enemy data? Where's it gone? Okay. So this is just the pointer to why it's pointing to that in that way. But okay. Oh, yeah. Why is it pointing to that? That's weird. Don't know why we're doing that, but okay, whatever. Good night, Mr. Jacob. Thanks for joining. But the problem here is that this value here doesn't seem to be correct. It's going up in the wrong increments. Here we go. We load the accumulator with it, we increment it, we put it back. So it should be going up 1 at a time. But the value that's in there apparently is well, let's have a look. So, oh, let me close all those windows, damn it. I wish it didn't do that with BGB. I wish it would not allow me to. So I'm grabbing the green key, right? And the green key is, at least according to this, actually no, it's RG. It's the 3rd item in the list. So I would expect the value at to be 03. Okay. Okay. Which probably means we don't need to increase. Yeah, we don't. If it starts at 1, that's fine. Okay, right. So let's just. Maybe this is right. Maybe I'm just being mad. Accumulator is 3. Okay. Okay. I'm being mad. I don't need to increment it. Everything's fine. I'm wasting my time basically. So this would be 4. So this is pointing to this one here. So that makes that it should be 4 when I get to that point. So after this command here, it should be 4. Yeah, it is right. God damn it! After all of that. So the only thing I don't need to do is the +1. So I need to make a note that I don't need to do that because it already starts at 1. Current enemy update always starts at 1. The index starts at 1, so it's not an issue. So don't need to do this. Cool. All right. It was fine all along. I was just being crazy. What I was mistakenly thinking. Firstly, I wasn't treating the +1. I was treating its index to 0, so I was assuming this was index 0, this is index 1, and this is index 2. But what I was actually seeing was 3, 4, which didn't make sense to me, even with the 0 index, because 0, 1, and 2, if you add 1 to that, it becomes 1, 2, and 3, and it's still wrong. But it's because I was going off the order which I'd placed them on the map here, not the order which they're passed. The map passes like a book from left to right, top to bottom. So this would have been the first one. This is the second one. This is the third. This is the fourth. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, because the index is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and those values were correct. So I was right all along. The code was right pretty much all along. I was just kind of misinterpreting the data. Okay. So now we have that value in here. So the next thing we need to do, we know this works, so I can get rid of that now. Next thing we need to do is basically remove an item. So it is. So what we can do here, this routine is going to do this check basically. So it's going to grab this value, pretty much the same as before. It's going to grab the current screen. It's going to do this. And then what it needs to do is it needs to loop through this loop, checking for. So let's just copy that loop as it is. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to load the accumulator with our current enemy update and put that into the B register. B is going to be our comparison here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep looping through this loop until I hit 0. Now, did I have? I'm pretty sure I had something in the collision, didn't I, to do this? Set carry flag, yeah. I'm going to call that not found. And what I'm going to do here is make sure the carry flag is clear. So how do I clear? Is there an easy way to clear the carry flag? I'm pretty sure I did that somewhere. Well, I could just do that. Okay, that will clear the, that will, yeah, that clears the carry flag. Okay, cool. Steps. Okay, so I'm using the carry flag to determine whether or not it should be removed. So that means now here we compare A to B and jump if not the same to loop. However, if it is the same, then I found, in which case I can set the carry flag, return. Okay, so what this is going to do, this is going to, whenever I call this, it's going to check the item to see if it should be removed from the screen. Now, we only have to do this once, and we'll do this on the initialization, I guess, is the place to do this. So I bet we don't have. No, damn it. Enemy indirect call. Damn it. Oh, add enemies. Here we go. Okay, so we need to do this first here. And we're going to probably need to save some properties here as well. So or A on its own clears carry. Okay, let's don't do that. Where have I done it now? Cool, thank you. Z80, Z80. Hey, Monsters Go Boom, how you doing? Okay, so yeah, I'm not so keen on this bit here. The problem with this is we're just adding enemies and we're not actually. Oh, actually, if I do this, oops, load that and then load current enemy update. Okay, and then if I do just copy that, it's easier. Do that, that will increment it. Right, so that means now this value is going to be correct for inside this routine. It looks like I need to make sure D is left alone. So I'm gonna, yeah, D, B is being used there as well. Where am I using that? Why am I putting it in there? Typing B. Is that because of this? Initialize enemy? Yes, it is. Damn. Okay, so I need to save B. So I think what I'm going to do in here is I'm just gonna save everything. My God, I'm getting lost in it all now. Hang on. It's collectible removed. It's in here. Yeah, because I'm using B and I'm using DE, so I need to save both of them. So what I'm going to do, uh, ugh, this is ugly as well. No, it's fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop DE here, pop BC here, do the same here. It's not ideal, but it will do the job. And this is only going to get called once, so it doesn't need to be efficient. And I'm lost again. Focus, focus, focus. Yeah. Okay, so now we are checking this value and we're returning the carry flag set if we need to initialize the enemy. So I'm hoping what I can do here is skip in there. So I think what I can do is if the carry flag is set, then jump to skip in it because that means we've already done the persistence here. So it's a fair amount of code to just randomly test, but I think it might be all right. Let's give it a try. Okay, so let's grab both keys. Let's go off screen. Come wait, ooh, no. Okay, so we've got a problem there, which means that this is probably doing something correct now. Okay, let's just comment that out. Well, it's not going to be that, is it? Actually, it's going to be in this collectible removed. That now. Okay, collectible removed. Push BC, push DE. Is the accumulator needed there as well? Maybe. No. Enemy indirect call. The enemy indirect call is this thing here, which jumps to HL. Oh, okay, okay, that's right. Okay, so I need to push HL as well. Oh, I'd say this is getting a bit messy now, but it's fine. I'd say this is only going to happen once when you enter the screen, so it shouldn't be an issue. Okay, so grab the green and blue, come off the screen. Ah, damn, we're still getting a problem here. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's put a breakpoint in here. Let's see if we can get to here without the problem. And then step through from that point. Of course, it's going to run that now. Ah, I see. It's breaking before that. Okay. Okay. Is it getting stuck in this loop, maybe? Oh, of course it's getting stuck in this loop. I'm not incrementing this value at all. That loop. There we go. In blue. Still drawing that, but I can't pick it up. So I can't pick it up because I've already got it. But the blue is not being drawn. That's interesting. So it's like the persistence has worked for the blue, but not for the green. Okay. See if the persistence works for this. So what? Okay, right. There's something bizarre going on. So some kind of persistence is working, but it's all very wrong. I think this should be the key, and it's not. Oh yeah, I could use that, couldn't I? You're right. I thought I was going to need that HL value, but I'm not, am I? So hang on, am I? No, I'm not. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. Cool. Thank you. Expect Comster. Hang on, is that? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay, let's do some comparisons here. So let's start taking a look at what we actually have um in the key list, wherever the hell that is. Um so uh, so I think the key list is here for this. Oh, I've got to replace D060. Ah, this place, please. Why is it not going to it in here? What the hell? There we go. Right. So watching this key location here. So can't grab that key because we already have it. We grab that one, and yes, we do get 3 on here and 4. So 3 and 4 are there, which means when I come back into this screen, 3 and 4 should not display. However, it's not displaying the right things. But if I go and grab this, it should see it's added 3 on again there. So it's on 3, 4, 3, 1. Okay, so what is going on here? So this is going to be to do with our is collectible removed. This is obviously wrong somewhere. So we're loading B with the current enemy update. So let's put a breakpoint in here. Hopefully this is going to cycle through all the numbers. That's what we should see when we go into the screen, which means it's testing against each key type. So okay, accumulator is on 1. Yes, that's fine. 2, 3, 4, and then done, because there's 4 elements here. Okay, that's good. So now if I go to D060 here, so this is our key list here. This is the list of things that need removing from this screen. So now if I grab both of these keys, you can see 3 and 4 are in the list. There's no enemies on this screen, so we don't get the breakpoint. Come back on here. Now we hit the breakpoint again. So accumulator is on 1, so we don't. Maybe it's just. Maybe I need to remove it the same as I do with the. Okay. Yes, I need to remove it the same way, don't I? Okay, that's all it is. Okay, easy enough. Let me just check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then off. Okay, and the only one it didn't show was the 4 here. It just immediately kind of skipped that one. But you can see it still lets me pick that up. So what I need to do is if the item is found, as well as kind of returning and saying don't display it, what I also need to do at this point, actually maybe I can do it in hang on, let me think about this. Yeah, it just needs clearing, just I think. So if we come in here, uh, let's like that, and then here I can do clear any enemy. So clear any enemy should prevent that from being shown properly at all. So which I think I just need to store those values. Ah, yes, because those values are already being stored here. Okay, so actually I don't need to do this. I'm not going to clear that there. The problem is that we've already set the X and Y and the type here. And we're not incrementing the DE properly here. So I'm going to do something here which is a bit horrible, which is I'm gonna move the DE back 3 times. And then I'm just going to fill it full of zeros. So can I use HL here? I can use HL here. Okay, hopefully I can do that. And then what I can do is, oh God, stiff neck. That won't work, will it not? Damn it. Okay, okay, fine. God, I hate Z80 for this. All right, I just want to test this first, and then I'll find a neater way of doing it. This is probably not ideal. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll find the neater way to do that in a minute. There's definitely a neater way to do this. But I can do it with a loop. Let's just make sure it works first. Okay. Oh yeah, push HL pop DE. That could work. That's fine. I'll do it with a loop. It's kind of silly for me to even be doing it the other way. Oh, let me get rid of that breakpoint. Where the hell is that now? Did I put that breakpoint? Was it in here? Oops. Yeah, I got the idea. I'm just going to use a loop. I'm just being lazy. Okay, so green, blue, leave your screen, come back. Green and blue are gone. Perfect. Grab that. Oops. Come back up here. Okay, now the red key is gone, which is not ideal. 3, 4, 1. Okay, so I don't know why the red key's gone. It shouldn't have done. Okay. Okay, let's fix this for a second. Okay, so oh, it's not going to work on this, is it? Damn it. Oh, God, I hate. Oh, fuck's sake. I fucking hate this. I hate this thing. Well, hang on. There was a problem here anyway, so let's solve that first. Let's put this back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that should be it should be working at this point, but for some reason it's not doing. Okay, so when we actually remove, what do we do? When we remove, okay, that's why. What I don't understand is it seemingly worked for everything, but not the red key. The red key should not be being removed, and it isn't being removed at that point. Let me go off the bottom here. It's not being removed there. Then it is being removed. Why is it being removed there? Okay, let's try. Oh, it's not going to work, is it? Because I've got too many keys. Why is that red key disappearing? It should not be disappearing. Uh, um, damn it. Think about this. So I just going to get this persistence work, and then I'm going to call it a night because that's pretty much everything I wanted to do tonight. Which really just leaves us with the music routine for next time, which is going to be fun. I'm hoping to just use Death or Mask. I think that'll work. Also, I'm getting tired. It just means I'm not going to sleep. Whenever I yawn, it just means my body says I'm tired, but my brain will not let me sleep later on because it's evil. So yeah, I'm going to put the breakpoint back in here again because it seems like we should be going through this routine properly. And I don't understand why the red key. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I know what's going on. Okay, I know what's going on. So what's happening is when we go to add the enemies, it's loading the type, and if the type is zero, as in it's blank, then it exits. So the moment I grab the first thing on the screen, uh, the moment I grab the first thing on the screen, everything else will disappear. So if I grab this over here, everything's gone, you see. Because the first thing is the zero. The same thing would happen if I grab the green key. Let's try that theory. If I grab the green key but not the blue key, so I grab that key, I think the blue key will disappear now. There we go. Okay. And that's because when it goes to initialize things here, it's immediately exiting if it's 0. Whereas what it should be doing is if it's 0. Wait, hang on. Why is it 0 at this point though? Why is it 0 at that point? It shouldn't be 0 at that point. Interesting. Why is it 0? Is it because this value is not being implemented? No. I am going to do a comparison here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the accumulator here to 9, which means we have reached the end. So if that is equal to that, so I was going to do the opposite. So if it's not equal to that, jump to the loop. Okay, otherwise it would jump to here. Otherwise, if I just put next here and say if it's 0, jump to next. See if that actually has a positive effect. At least I know what's causing the issue. So no, okay, so they're still disappearing here. No, is that because this is wrong, maybe? Okay, let's try initializing the enemy first. And if the parry's not set, we'll go to here. Otherwise, we're going to jump into this section here. D is +5 at this point, so oh my god, this is getting really messy. Oh no, okay, yeah, just for the sake of getting this to work. So obviously, I need to fix all this. It's a mess. Crack out tune. No, okay, so that doesn't do anything either. So I think the problem is for some reason, I think the DE value might be wrong here. So let's because oh wait, hang on, HL. What's HL at this point? Wait, what is HL at this point? Where is it getting HL from? Hang on. Oh shit. This needs increment as well. So can I do? I bet I can't do this either. Can I? No, that's not gonna work either. Oh, okay, what is going on here, man? Oh god, I want to get this right before I go to bed. Definitely want to get this right before I go to bed. Um, huh. trying to work out what this why this exists. This is obviously pointing into the data it's reading in. Enemies. Where's add enemies called from? HL is now pointing to the enemy data. Okay, so but that's pointing to the. This is pointing to this enemy data in here. Okay. Okay, right. So know what that is. And that is incremented. So that is moving into the next one here, and the next one here, and so on. And that will never be. These will never be set to 0 because this is in ROM. Okay. So that's fine. Initialize enemy is working fine. However, when I go to remove the item here, it's removing everything after that point. Let's just undo all this crap. Put it back to how it was. Okay. Okay. So this should just be clearing all those values. So just be clearing all of those values in RAM in here. Oh wait, max enemies. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it should be clearing those. Oh god, my brain's not working for this right now. This is where I need wine. A wine would solve all the issues here. Okay. Why is it stopping? So that should just be clearing the one, but it doesn't. It clears everything. Why is it clearing everything? Is this value being changed or something? No, that kind of value can't be being changed. Okay, let's just have a look again. So the behavior is it will clear everything above the item number that I've grabbed. Okay, so if I grab that one, it clears. Okay. If I grab the green, the blue will disappear. Okay. So if the value is 0, brilliant tune. Oh, this is a different version. Okay, so if it's 0, it jumps to here, clears the carry flag and exits. Then it compares against B, which is our current enemy update. If it's the same, it jumps to here, sets the carry flag, carries on. Otherwise, it continues through the loop until either 1 is 0. So this is what I don't understand. Why is it doing this? Okay, see what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a breakpoint in here. And I'm going to see what happens when I go through this. Okay, so it's going to do this 4 times. Then I'm going to grab Aha. Okay. 3 times here. Now when I jump up, it's going to go through this list again. So the first one, we're going through this exactly as it is. So the found is here. This is the point that we're looking at here. If it's found an item, so that's what we're looking for. So stepping through this, it has found an item, so it's going to escape and come out. Then it comes back in to check the second item in the list. If I go and have a look at D060, oh damn it, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Oh, there's only one thing in this list, and that's the one that we had. So it shouldn't get to this point because we're on 2 and this is 1. So let's have a look. And indeed, it skips over. That's good. And then 3. Again, skips over. It's good. And 4. Again, skips over. Okay. But they don't show. Why don't they show? Ah! Aha! I know why. Because that's just the initialization. We need to do the same thing in the update. That's why. Update enemies here. Okay, so at the moment we're doing this, and it shouldn't be this. It should be. Let's call that next here, and we need to compare that to 9. If it's not 9, jump to loot, and this should be next like that. The problem is that if the value was 0, it was immediately stopping the update. So I think this should work now. We're going to have a million breakpoints in this, but okay. So grab that, go off the screen, come back. Damn you! Damn you! Okay. Need to make sure that advances, which probably means we also need to do this on the add enemies as well. Oh no, actually, add enemies is not a problem because they won't be 0 at this point. It's just the update that's the problem. Come on, I think this is it now. Ah, damn it. Okay. Not quite. Okay. Think about this. It's going through the update and that's checking to see, do we need to actually update anything? So it's going to load that value in from DE, compare it to 0. If it is 0, no, it's going to jump to next. Next is going to increment DE by 8 and jump into the next one. Okay, let's put the breakpoint here. See what this value is that it's getting in DE. Okay, so D550. So this should be incrementing each frame. Yes. There we go. Now it's done an entire frame. Now it's going to do this. Oh, fuck, it's going to do every frame, isn't it? God damn it, this is annoying. Oh, actually, no, I can check this. Okay, so, okay, that's fine. All right. This is confusing. Persistence, man. Persistence is a pain in the ass. Okay, just need that break point back in. it's particularly a pain in the ass when you don't have proper indexing systems, indexing instructions. Okay, so D550. So it's going to let me go through all of them here in order. Yeah, okay. So let me just skip through a little bit, and I'm going to go to D550 here. Okay, so these are our values in RAM at the moment. So these are what have been copied. Now the problem is if this one is set to 0, so if I set that one to 0, the next time round, what is it going to do? So it's at D550 now. It's here. And it is advancing through properly. Okay. Still advancing fine. But you see now that's changed to that. I can't freaking move with this breakpoint turn on. I'm going to turn that off. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, God. I think I might have to stop this soon. Oh, damn it. Why did he not get the win? Yeah. Oh, maybe it's the apostrophe. So you put Yogi's Great Escape, but it didn't. Okay, let me just check that because that's not fair. I bet I've not got that apostrophe. I bet I've not even thought about that in my regex. But that's what it is, you know. Oh no, look. I am checking for apostrophe. Oh, is this out of time? Okay. Oh, that sucks, yeah. Yeah, the apostrophe should be working, so very lucky for you. Okay. Oh man, this is so frustrating. Um huh. Um okay, so what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the breakpoint in here. Then I'm gonna run it so I get the breakpoint. Okay, so yeah, there's our breakpoint. Then I'm just going to clear it for a second. I'm going to go and grab this. I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to turn that breakpoint. Oh, God. Damn you. Wait, that wasn't the break. Oh, yeah, that is the breakpoint. See, it's still going through them absolutely fine. Uh, okay. What I'm going to do here then instead, I'm going to try something. So we were having issues before when I just tried to clear everything from the from the sprite, including the type. I'm going to leave the type alone, and instead I'm just going to clear. So I'm not going to. I'm going to do one less here, one less here. So now I'm just going to clear the X and the Y and not the type. Okay, let's turn that on off. OB18, that was it. Or OB1B. Don't know why it was going to that location. Okay. Man, that was it all along. Okay. So this is fine now. So I'm hoping if I grab the green key, go off the screen. Oh no, the green. All right, not quite. Not quite. Not quite. God damn you. Yeah, debugging must have been an absolute freaking nightmare. Um, and we definitely have it a lot easier now. A lot easier. Um, okay, I want to get rid of that breakpoint because the breakpoint's driving me insane right now. Except I forgot where I put it there. Enemies update, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, I used to debug using tapes. That was how I used to do it back in the day. So I didn't have a disk drive. I had an action replay. Well, in fact, the action replay came later on as well. But before that, I just used to save the tape. If it crashed, load it back up, try and figure it out. So okay, right. So I'm going to grab the green key. I'm going to go off the screen, and the green key is gone. Okay, good. So now I'm going to grab this. Let's see what the fuck is going on here. Oh, it's not added it now. It's not adding it to the freaking list now. And now it is. What the hell? Okay, not much longer there. I'm going to give up. Right, so grab these two keys, come off the screen, come back, they're gone. Okay, grab this. That should be everything gone except the red key, which it is. Come off, come back. Yeah, change, come back. Okay, right. That didn't work before though. So I don't know what was different, but it didn't work. Okay. Okay, this seems to be bloody working now. Sure, it wasn't working a second ago. So grab that, go down here. And this is all working. Something wrong with blue key? No, it looks fine. Well, the Game Boy Color version of .cos must be better than the C64 version. It will have more screens. It will be bigger. It will definitely be bigger. Uh, okay, this seems to be fine now. I'm just trying to. Okay, so I can grab the green, go off screen. That's fine. Grab the heart. That's fine. Grab the blue. Use it on the door. This all looks fine. This all looks fine. Um, okay, strange. Strange. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it a night there then, guys. Um, so that is actually most. I mean, I want to test this thoroughly, so there will be. There, I will have to do some. I'm gonna have to do some proper deep testing on this at some point. But it seems to me to be working correctly now, which is frustrating. Because I don't know what it seemed like it was buggy before, but then it stopped being buggy, and I don't know why. There is one little bit I'd like to tidy up, which is this bit. But honestly, if it's working, I don't need the bytes. I'm not that fussed at the moment. Um, so yeah, let's just go and raid somebody now. I guess it's getting late. Let's have a look who's on. Retro Coder's on. Let's go and raid Retro Coder. So Retro Coder is programming some Z80 for Spectrum Next. A great guy. Deserves more viewers. So let's go and see what he's up to. Okay, cheers, guys, and I'll see you all on Thursday for some Checkanoid. 6502, yeah. All right, let's go and raid him. Yeah, this is coming along quite quickly now. I think we're getting to the point where we're going to be very close to finishing soon. So, all right, cool. See you all on Thursday, guys. Bye.